Hi class, today is lesson 11-3. It's on the coordinate plane. Our purpose for today is to locate and graph points on the coordinate plane. Now, although we don't have any vocabulary, I want you to copy down the figure that we have in the next slide. And as we talk about this particular figure called the coordinate plane, I want you to go ahead and write your own descriptions of each of the terms that I use. Here's the figure that I want you to draw. This is a good time to pause the lesson. Our first term is coordinate plane. The coordinate plane are these two number lines that intersect at 90-degree angles. Simply put, that's the coordinate plane. We're going to talk about axes. The axes are the two number lines themselves, the horizontal one and the vertical one. The x-axis. The x-axis is the horizontal number line. The y-axis. The y-axis is the vertical number line. Another term here is quadrants. You'll see that these intersecting number lines, these axes, the y-axis and the x-axis, split this plane into four areas. Those four areas are called quadrants. Quadrant 1 starts here. We have positive x and a positive y. Quadrant 2 here, a negative x and a positive y. Quadrant 3, we have both negatives represented here. And in quadrant 4, we have a positive x-axis numbers that will be paired with negative y-axis numbers. Those are the four quadrants. Origin. You already see the label here, and they've probably drawn it. The origin is the place of intersection between the two axes. Coordinates. Coordinates are the exact location using both the number line of the x-axis and the number line of the y-axis. Okay. X-coordinate. X-coordinate is the first coordinate in a pair of coordinates. And I'll show you that in the examples that we do. The x-coordinate is the first of the two coordinates that we write to indicate a location on this coordinate plane. The y-coordinate is a number. It's the second number used to identify a location somewhere on this coordinate plane. Let's go ahead and take a look at the examples so you understand a little more what we're doing here. Here we have a coordinate plane, a y-axis and an x-axis, and it asks us to give the coordinates of each point. For point K, we need to identify that location. We identify that location by first going to the x-axis, the horizontal axis. And it looks like we go from the origin to this first tick mark, which is 1. So 1 is represented as the first coordinate of the set of 2. We go over 1 and we go up 4. Notice that the 4 is on the y-axis. The y-axis coordinate is always the second coordinate that goes in this coordinate pair. The x-axis number is always the first. So this location here is 1, 4. Over 1, up 4. Let's go to T. Point T is actually on the x-axis itself. So let's go ahead and identify that as well. On the x-axis, we go over -2. So we go over -2. And how far do we go up or down on the y-axis? Well, we don't go up or down at all. We stay at 0. Okay. W. W is down here in quadrant 3. Remember, this is quadrant 1, 2, and 3. So W here is in quadrant 3. What is the location of that? Again, we go on the x-axis. We have to go in the negative direction. 1, 2, 3. So it's -3. And then we go up or down. In this case, we're going to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's a -4. -3, -4. Those are the coordinates of each point. Notice that we put those coordinates within parentheses and we separate the x coordinate from the y coordinate with a comma. All right. Our next example is now we're going to locate the points. The point is given P, -3, -2. Where is -3, -2? Once again, this tells us the first coordinate tells us where it is on the on the x, and the second tells us where it is according to the y-axis. So -3, -2 means we go on the x-axis, 1, 2, 3 in the negative direction, that's -3, and we go down to -2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There's point P. For R, we have 0, 4 is the coordinate. So we begin at the x-axis. We don't go anywhere. We stay at the origin. The origin is 0, 0. Let me go ahead and write that down so we remember that as well. I might not have explained that. The origin is actually 0, 0. 0 on the x-axis, 0 on the y-axis. That's exactly where they intersect. So to go to point R, 0, 4, we go to 0 on the x-axis and then up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's right there. And that is point R. Point M, 3, -4. On the x-axis, the horizontal axis, we go over 3, 1, 2, 3, there's 3, and we go down, because that's a negative number, go down to -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where point M sits. All right. Lastly, we have to complete the problem. I want you to go ahead and draw this, this coordinate plane with the x-axis and the y-axis. And I want you to describe how graphing the point 5, 4 is similar to graphing the point 5, -4, and then explain how it's different. I'm going to go ahead and graph the first point for you, 5, 4. So I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then up 4 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my first point. 5, 4. I want you to go ahead and graph 5, -4, and then compare them. How are these points similar? How are they different? We'll see you in class.